Welcome to my preview of the 2025 Toyota AFL Grand Final, and well, the matchup we have this year is one of the best we could have gotten. Two modern day powerhouses will be going up against each other to decide who will be the first team to 5 premierships of this century and who will be the early contender for not only the team of the 2020s but the team of Ford footy since it began. It is last year's winners, the Brisbane Lions, going for a back-to-back against the Geelong Cats. And as we always do, we'll begin running over the lineups that got here. And let me tell you, there is a reason these two teams have earned their spot at the end of this season. For Brisbane, their forward line is stacked and led by the key forward powerhouse Logan Morris, who has kicked over 50 goals in his second year of football, on small forwards Kyle Owen, Charlie Cameron, Callum Archie, and Ty Gallup and Sam Day, who have been massive additions throughout this final series. In the midfield, you have Will and Levi Ashcroft, Hugh McCluggage, Josh Dunkley, Jasper Fletcher, and Darcy Wilmot, who will just keep building up possession after possession in this game. And for the defense, you have Harris Andrews, Grant Starcevich, Dane Zorko, and who all be very strong defensive pillars that have to deal with throughout this game. Geelong are also very well fed for talent. Obviously, one of the most brutal forward lines still in the game: Jeremy Cameron, Sean Matter, Shannon Neal, along with Tyson Stengel, Ollie Dempsey for small forward pressure. Jack Rose as well, who has been insane in his first year of the Cats. In the middle, we have Max Holmes, Bailey Smith, Cam Guthrie, and Patrick Dangerfield. And in addition, the addition of Bailey Smith has just added so much to that midfield dynamic all throughout this season. And for the defense, you've got Tom Stewart, Jack Henry, Jake Monjasny, Jack Guthrie, although Tom Stewart will miss this game with a concussion. These two sides are loaded with superstars who will be raring to go. We can learn a little bit of how this grand final may go based on the last 3 times that each team played each other. In the quad, the first 2 matches they played each other were won by the Lions. In round 3, Geelong did get the early start in this game. They led by 32 points at half time, but Brisbane stormed back. I don't think this game is going to be like that, if I'm going to be fully honest. I think this game is going to be, if Geelong get off to a good lead, they'll win. I'll be fully honest. But for that game, Brisbane came back from 32 points down, led by Hugh McCluggage and Will Ashcroft, who had over 30 disposals. Then in the second game they played against each other, they played down at the Cattery in Danger's 350th, the whiteout in Geelong, if you remember that game. Well, that whiteout was dominated by the Brisbane Lions. Once again, Hugh McCluggage, Will Ashcroft, over 30 disposals, and Logan Morris kicked 6 goals. When Geelong turned the table in the qualifying final, it was Ollie Dempsey with 3 goals and over 30 disposals who stole the show, along with Max Holmes and Bailey Smith, who kicked a big goal on 22 disposals. It is the midfield contested beasts who normally decide this matchup, along with all of the other players who will be able to get involved. Some fun stats. When it comes to how these two teams play, I think it's so exciting the way these two teams play, and I'm so glad they both made the grand final. Because to beat them, you have to score over 100 points. If you score 70 points, you'll be on the couch, just like the Souls of Hawthorn and Collingwood. And you're just not beating them if you do that. But if you can score over 100 points and just get your forward line into shape, you have a chance of beating these two teams. They force you to play on the edge. They force you to play it hardest as you can, and they bring the best out of you. And that is certainly going to be a thing in this matchup. The winner of this game is going to have to score 100 points to be able to win. And if you go below 100, well, you can kiss that Premiership Cup goodbye. Few more interesting stats about this matchup. Geelong, obviously on an 8-game winning streak, and again, their forward line is statistically the most brutal forward line to play against in the competition, with leading the competition in marks inside 50. But another thing I wanted to point out is what I like to call dread time. The Cats in red time are plus 300 points better than the next best team. They win games over what they do in the last 5 minutes of periods, and that is something that Brisbane are going to have to be very, very careful about. For the Lions, the contested possessions are the biggest thing for their matchup. For them to be able to, when they have over, when they beat the other team on contested possession, they're 12-0. They haven't lost this season. And so, if they beat Geelong on contested possession and can beat them in the coalface that ball, they will be able to find a way to win this game. It will be hard against the Geelong midfield, but if any midfield can do it, it is Brisbane. Overall, looking at all the stats and the last three times these teams played each other, I think for each team to win, this is how I think. For Geelong to win, obviously they have to win the contested ball out of the midfield. Max Holmes, Ollie Dempsey, Bailey Smith have to have big games. And Jerry Cameron doesn't have to have a massive one, but it's going to be the other players around him. Sean Manor, Jack Bowes, Shannon Neal, who are going to prove that the grand final stage belongs to them. Even if Jeremy Cameron is a little bit quiet, and Patrick Dangerfield, he may have not been able to do it against the Brisbane Lions in the three matchups, but he might just be able to wind back the clock. For the Lions to win, it will come from dominance from the Ashcroft boys in the middle. Hugh McCluggage will dominate in the middle, and they will win the contested possession game, and they'll have guys like Ty Gallup, Logan Morris, even Charlie Cameron come up and score the goal. For the Cats to win, they'll beat the Lions at contested marking and just dominate for that front. For the Lions to win, they'll dominate contested possession. Overall, who do I think is going to win this game? It is very interesting because I've been split all week about this. I said Brisbane would win the finals at the start of this final series, but I think Geelong have been playing better on stats and are more primed for this game at the moment. Overall, even though my gut is telling me Brisbane, I've tipped Geelong by 5 points. And I will not be shocked at all if Brisbane win. My gut is telling me Brisbane, but the stats, how the midfield, defense, forward line is playing. Geelong just had the perfect mixture at the moment. They're on an 8-game winning streak. Chris Scott has them primed once again. They've been the most consistent team throughout the whole year. I said they'd win it if they beat Brisbane in the qualifying final. And I just think they've got the Trifles ready to go. They're in the premiership window. They tick all the boxes for an eventual premier, as good as the Lions are. And I wouldn't be shocked if they win. They're that kind of team. I'm tipping the Cats by 5 points. And I think Max Holmes, after the heartbreak of missing the 2022 Grand Final will be the bronze medalists. But it will be a very exciting and interesting game. This will decide the team of the 2020s so far, and will decide who is the first team of the 2000s era, of the just 20s, 2000 era, to be on 5 premierships. The best 2 teams all year, and we've got the matchup that will be insane to show it. Good luck to both teams who have made it